Hello and welcome to a brand spanking new flight simulator video here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we're going to be flying the twin-engined Milviz 310R, a aircraft I absolutely adore. It is a fantastic aircraft. Milviz have done a cracking job in getting this aircraft up and able for the flight simulator. If you like your multi-engine piston power, then really this is the aircraft for you, or certainly one of the better aircraft for you. We're going to be flying a militarized version, actually, the US Air Force. It was actually nicknamed the Blue Canoe for the obvious state of the fuselage and the way it looks, but that is a US Air Force 310R. I have no idea personally what they used it for, other than probably transportation of high-ranking people, because it's quite comfortable back there. I don't know whether they used it for multi-engine training or anything like that, but we're going to be flying it on a small little flight here. If I just get my paperwork. Right, so we are currently sat at RAF Waddington in Lincolnshire, so we're going to be departing, obviously, RAF Waddington. And we're going to be departing the runway just out over there, about 1 o'clock of our position, and we'll be departing out and heading out over North Highcombe, heading over towards Lincoln. Highcombe's over there, Lincoln's somewhere over there. We're heading out towards RAF Scampton. We will not be landing at RAF Scampton. We're actually going to be testing this aircraft at a slightly smaller airfield, a bit more local, well, a little bit further out from Scampton, and it is Kirton in Lindsey. Now, this is in reality a glider base now, but it has 4 runways, well, 2 runways technically, and we should be able to put the Cessna down, the 310 down on the runway. We are going to make probably a fly past to judge if we can do this. Obviously, landing this on a normal paved runway, very, very simple. Landing it on grass, a little bit different. If I do recall, there is also a hill in the middle of the runway as well, so it could be quite interesting. But that's towards the end of the flight. So let's get this aircraft up and running. So obviously the usual caveat, this is not going to be an accurate startup procedure for the 310, but it will be a flight simulator abbreviated startup. So prop pitch is going to be set to full, mixture is set to full, crack the throttles, turn the batteries on, and we shall have mags for left engine. So mags for the left engine set on, because that'll be our first engine. We'll start. Put the fuel pump on. And check the area is clear at the front. Parking brake is set. And we have a good start. Magnetos on for right engine. Clear on the right. And we have a good start. Mixture back a little bit as we sit here. So we shall have anti-collision lights on, nav lights on, avionic masters coming on. That'll power up our GPS. Let that warm up. So I've already set in a route for us to take. We have a custom position out over Highcombe, like I say, heading towards Lincoln. We're actually going to use Cathedral for a waypoint, and then we're going to head on up towards Scampton, and then up towards Kirton. So put the alternators on. set to 1 position. We don't really need them due to the fact of the runway length here, RAF Waddington, but we shall have it. Set the other screen up for a terrain warning, and let's get going. Now this is a downloaded scenery for RAF Waddington. It's accurate, not that accurate. There is a hangar in the real position, like you can see just ahead of me. However, that building there does not exist. So, you know, it's better than the simulator comes with, but it's not realistic. Passing the control tower. Obviously we're not using ATC. I think everyone knows now the ATC for flight simulators is pretty poor. There is a program coming out, I do believe next year, which is going to drastically improve ATC performance, make it much more realistic. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's ATC Beyond. I'm not 100%, don't quote me on that, but it is, from what I've read and what I've seen so far, it is absolutely fantastic. But that's not really hard to beat when you've got the standard flight simulator ATC. Just for those of you in the know of the area, in fact I'll just stop the aircraft here. There should be a big giant hangar there, where the red arrows are actually based. For some reason, it's not there in our version. But, like I say, it's a better version than what comes with the Flight Simulator. This. Auxiliary pump onto full. Oh wait, was it pitot heat? We don't really need it, but we're going to turn it on anyway. Strobe lights are coming on, so we've got nav lights, anti-collision and strobe lights. Don't need landing lights. Mixtures to full, prop pitches to full. Control check is free. So, let's get it going. The sounds in this aircraft are absolutely fantastic. I really do love... It's one of those aircraft you can just jump into and just fly for the fun. It's fast. It's manoeuvrable. You know, it's a good, well done aircraft. As you can see, a very long runway here at RAF Waddington. We're actually going to taxi past these lights. Like I say, again, not 100% accurate, but better than what the flight simulator ships with. So we're going to sit ourselves just towards the front of the piano keys. Parking brake set. Flaps set to 1 position. Prop pitch is full. Mixture is full. Lights are set. Nav is set. We'll pull that in a little bit just so everyone can see. We're not going to use the autopilot. So, coming off parking brakes, onto main brakes, and we're going to run her up to about 50%. straight line, and we're going. Just using the rudder to keep the aircraft roughly in a straight line. And there we are, airborne. Positive rate, about 300 feet, gear up. Flaps coming up. And just to show Waddington off a little bit more, it's not featured in any of my previous videos, we'll do a little circuit. Out over the A15. Looking as good as ever, using the new Accu-Season Advanced scenery pack. Turbulence up at this altitude, but nothing for the 310 to really worry about. Put our auxiliary pumps off, don't need them now. Over North Icombe now. I do believe just under the tip tank there would be a Newark Road. In fact, I do believe that's the Asda's building, that big white building there. Obviously, not completely realistic, but not bad. We'll start our running towards Cathedral. Also, you may have guessed, Lincoln is my area in real life. I know a lot of the local area, and it's really something that Flight Simulator has got to the level now that I can recognise certain parts of the Flight Simulator. Yes, I've had to add a few more airfields to the area to make it more realistic.
FSX and FS 2004, or FS9 as it was called. It's so nice to have a bit more realism in the flight simulator. Just passing over the cathedral and we're heading off towards Scampton. Due to Kirton and Lindsey being a little bit ahead of our nose now, it's not too far, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a practice touch and go here at Scampton. It's always a good time to actually do some practicing, and it will just show you what the 310 is like landing on a proper paved runway. So we're going to start our descent. Left-hand spiral, descent, not an accurate obviously descent into an airfield, but we don't have any other aircraft to worry about. We are going to make this quite a long distance approach. Runway is back there to our 7-8 o'clock position. As we know, Scampton's runway is very long. Speed bleeding off. Coming up on our mixture to full. Gears coming down. Flaps at one stage. Just retrimming the aircraft out now. This is going to be a touch and go. Intentions are to touch all three wheels down, run down the runway a little bit, power back up again, and we'll take off. Plenty of distance down the runway here at Scampton. Turbulence kicking the aircraft around. Nothing really to worry about. Got the landing point in sight. Want to be landing past the piano keys. Throttling back, nose coming back, arresting some of the speed, and we're down. Letting the aircraft settle, and coming back up on the power.
Didn't even need 100% throttle there to get back up in the air. Currently sitting at about 70%. So we'll circuit round, make another pass at Scampton, and then we'll head on towards our destination, which is not far away. In fact, according to the sat-nav, it's 8.3 miles. Certainly there's a lot of people that really do like the 310, and to be honest, I'm one of them. I really do like the 310. I'll probably rate it in probably the top 3 aircraft currently in my collection. To me personally, the A2A Comanche, which will feature in a future video, is the best. The 850, I think it is, the Turbo 850, or what, the turboprop that came out recently, black square. Want something fast and a bit more executive, then that's certainly a very good choice. But if you like your piston power, then this is certainly up there. Long distance, you know, for a GA aircraft. Good sat nav. Milviz have done some great work with the aesthetics of this aircraft and also its sounds. It's an absolutely fantastic little aircraft. Difficult part. We've now got to find a crash strip that's going to be in the middle of a field, which is always a problem with airfields like Kirton. Everyone can see an airfield like that. It's quite easy to see, but a crash strip, that's a little bit more different. Whole different kettle of fish when it comes to landing the aircraft. You're landing on concrete or tarmac, it is comfortable, it is planted, you know, as long as the wind is in the right direction, you know, it's easier to land. Landing on grass is a little bit more difficult even. We're not flying particularly accurate VFR ruling. I probably will never use ATC, and I've got a program that actually plays real ATC sounds. I was trying to get that to run on this video, but for some reason it didn't decide to work properly, so that will be coming out in a future video. So I'm just in the sat nav, we've got the airfield coming up. And you can can see the cross lines here. That is the runway headings. So we're going to fly over Kirton to give you a nice view of this small ex-RAF base. Should have plenty of runway to land 310. As soon as we get down and get planted onto the grass, as soon as. In fact, here is RAF Kirton. You can see the cross runway. Going to land, hopefully. We're going to be heading towards the glider storage area, just under the left wing there. But that is the shorter of the runways. Turbine ahead. We're going to start our descent and try and get out of the way and have a nice, give ourselves as much time as we can on the approach. So, auxiliary pumps coming on. Still got the line in view on the sat-nav, so I know they're heading to the runway. I'll put the flaps down at about 150, just a little bit less. So flaps down one stage. Coming down. We trim the aircraft out. Now comes the fun part. I can see the line on the sat-nav, and now I've got to find the actual runway. The lower we get, the harder it's going to be to find. Turning onto finals. Landing checks. Flaps down one stage, gear is down and locked. Prop pitch is set. Mixture is set. Speed is good, profile is good. We do have a slight terrain warning ahead of us. Nothing to worry about. brakes. Don't want to put the brakes on too much. We are on grass. There we are. Landed at Kirton, our first grass strip in the 310. Obviously no real parking areas, but we will try and get off the runway. In fact, we do have a bloke down there marshalling us in, so flaps coming up. So the mixture. Don't need the auxiliary pumps now. So let's see how brave this individual's going to be. I hate when that comes up, I really do. I don't think we'd have a marshaller at the real airfield, but we'll take it. Brakes on. Parking brake is set. Mags off. Mags off checked. Alternators off. Lights off. Avionics master off. pitot heaters off. And batteries off. So there we go. Our first landing into a grass field here at Kirton, and a glider base even. I couldn't even say that right. Don't know whether they've ever had a 310 here before, but well, we made it, even though the aircraft looks like it's sunk into the grass a bit. So I hope you find this video interesting, and I shall see you in a future video very, very soon.